Hi everyone, welcome to English Story School, where we turn the art of storytelling into an exciting adventure in learning English. Have you ever found yourself staring at a to-do list, feeling that familiar weight of everything you've been putting off? Imagine this. It's Monday morning, and Sarah, a young professional with big dreams, wakes up determined to make today different. She dreams of starting her own business, but each day she finds herself pushing it off until tomorrow. Sound familiar? As Sarah sips her coffee, she glances at the pile of tasks before her, each one a stepping stone toward her dreams. But the fear of failure grips her, and suddenly the list feels insurmountable. This is where our story truly begins. Like many of us, Sarah wrestles with procrastination, caught in the cycle of, "I'll do it tomorrow." But what if she chose to embrace the power of today? The first step in Sarah's journey is a pivotal moment of introspection. She sits quietly one morning, the sunlight streaming through her window, illuminating her cluttered desk. It's here that she confronts the nagging reasons behind her procrastination. As she sips her coffee, she begins to unravel the tangled web of fears that has kept her immobilized. Fear of failure looms large in her mind. It whispers insidiously, making her question her abilities and her worth. "What if I'm not good enough?" it taunts. The thought of launching her business and potentially falling short sends shivers down her spine. This fear feels like a heavy anchor, dragging her down into the depths of inaction. Then there's the relentless need for perfection. Sarah has always been her own harshest critic, striving for an unattainable standard. She imagines every detail of her business, every logo, every marketing strategy, perfectly executed. This desire for perfection becomes paralyzing. Instead of taking the leap, she finds herself stuck in the planning phase, endlessly refining ideas without ever putting them into action. Lastly, the sheer scale of her ambitions is daunting. The thought of creating a thriving business feels overwhelming, like standing at the base of a towering mountain. The path ahead is obscured by self-doubt and uncertainty. This weight of expectation pushes her deeper into procrastination, convincing her that she'll never be able to climb that mountain. But then, in this moment of self-reflection, a breakthrough occurs. A spark of clarity ignites within her. Sarah realizes that the magic of progress isn't found in grand, sweeping gestures. It's in the simple act of breaking her dreams down into manageable, bite-sized actions. This shift in perspective transforms everything. Instead of diving headfirst into the complex world of entrepreneurship, she decides to take a step back and start small. She grabs a notebook, its crisp pages inviting her to fill them with her thoughts. Just 10 minutes a day. She can manage that. It's a simple task, yet it feels profoundly liberating. No longer does she need to conjure the entire vision of her business in one go. She can just jot down her ideas, allowing them to evolve organically. In those 10 minutes, she begins to capture her thoughts, her passions, her goals, and even the rough sketches of her business plan. Each scribbled note is a small victory, a tangible step away from fear and toward action. This practice transforms into a daily ritual, a sacred time where she permits herself to dream without the pressure of perfection. As days turn into weeks, Sarah notices a shift in her mindset. What once felt daunting now becomes an exciting adventure. Each small action builds her confidence, reinforcing the idea that progress is made in increments, not leaps. By choosing to do something today, she is reclaiming her power, one tiny step at a time. In this way, Sarah learns that every significant achievement starts with the courage to take that first small step. And as she embraces this new approach, she finds herself on a path not just toward her business goals, but also toward a more fulfilled and authentic version of herself. Sarah realizes that while personal motivation is essential, the journey to achieving her dreams doesn't have to be a solitary one. In her quest for progress, she understands the importance of support. It's a realization that brings a sense of relief. She doesn't have to face her challenges alone. With determination, she reaches out to her friend Jessica, who also harbors dreams of launching her own venture. They've known each other for years, sharing countless late-night conversations about their aspirations. Jessica is a vibrant force of positivity, and Sarah knows she can trust her to understand the ups and downs of this journey. They arrange to meet over coffee every week, a cozy ritual that quickly becomes a highlight of their schedules. As they sit across from each other in their favorite cafe, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee envelops them, creating an inviting atmosphere for honest conversations. They talk about their dreams, their fears, and the steps they've taken since their last meeting. During these check-ins, they celebrate each other's small victories, no matter how minor they may seem. Did Jessica finally draft her business plan? That deserves a toast. Did Sarah take 10 minutes to brainstorm her ideas? They cheer, as if it were a monumental achievement. This mutual recognition of progress fosters a profound sense of camaraderie. Each celebration reinforces their commitment to their goals and reminds them that every small step counts. Picture the power of having someone in your corner, cheering you on. When Sarah shares her latest breakthrough, perhaps she sketched out her business's vision, Jessica's enthusiasm lifts her spirits even higher. "That's amazing! You're making real progress," she exclaims, her eyes sparkling with excitement. In those moments, Sarah feels invigorated. The simple act of sharing her successes not only motivates her to keep moving forward, but also instills a deeper sense of accountability. She knows she'll have to report back next week, which propels her to take action in between their meetings. As the weeks pass, their check-ins evolve into something more than just accountability. They become a safe space for vulnerability. They discuss setbacks, frustrations, and the moments of doubt that inevitably creep in. When Sarah confides about a day when procrastination wins, Jessica listens intently, offering encouragement and perspective. "It's okay to have off days. What matters is that you keep showing up," she reassures her. This emotional support strengthens their bond, creating a shared understanding that they're both navigating similar challenges. This newfound accountability becomes a powerful motivator. Knowing that someone else is invested in her journey pushes Sarah to confront her fears head-on. She starts to push herself further, setting more ambitious goals. Maybe it's taking a course to learn a new skill or attending a networking event. Each time she takes action, she feels a surge of confidence. The accountability isn't just about checking tasks off a list. It's about nurturing a mindset that embraces growth and progress. As their friendship deepens, Sarah realizes the significance of community. They begin to expand their support system, inviting other friends with similar aspirations to join their check-ins. This creates a dynamic group where ideas can be shared freely, advice can be exchanged, and everyone feels uplifted. The energy is electric as they bounce ideas off one another, brainstorming and encouraging each other to reach new heights. In this supportive environment, Sarah flourishes. She no longer feels the weight of her dreams as a burden, but rather as a collective ambition they are all working toward. The weekly check-ins become more than just a routine. They evolve into a source of inspiration, motivation, and empowerment. With each meeting, Sarah gains not only clarity and direction, but also a profound sense of belonging. Together, they remind each other that the path to success is not just about individual achievements, but about lifting one another as they climb. Ultimately, Sarah learns that the journey to fulfilling her dreams is enriched by the support of others. It's a beautiful reminder that while personal effort is crucial, the power of community can elevate one's aspirations to heights previously thought unattainable. As Sarah continues her journey toward launching her business, she realizes that inspiration alone won't propel her forward. She needs practical tools to channel her enthusiasm into tangible actions. This is where her organizational skills come into play. One sunny afternoon, while browsing online, she stumbles upon a beautifully designed planner that promises to help users manage their time effectively. Intrigued, she orders it, hopeful that this might be the key to unlocking her productivity. When the planner arrives, Sarah feels a rush of excitement. It's more than just a book of blank pages. It's an invitation to structure her days. She flips through the pages, filled with motivational quotes and neatly organized sections for daily, weekly, and monthly planning. With each turn, her anticipation grows. This planner feels like a blank canvas, ready for her to fill with her dreams and aspirations. Determined to make it work, Sarah sets aside time every Sunday to plan her week. With her favorite pen in hand, she begins by outlining her goals, both big and small. She starts with her long-term vision of her business, then breaks it down into smaller, actionable tasks. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of her dream, she's now looking at a list of manageable steps that feel much more achievable. Next, she allocates specific time slots for each task. Perhaps she'll spend Monday morning brainstorming marketing strategies, Tuesday evening researching competitors, and Wednesday focusing on financial planning. The act of dedicating time for each task transforms her to-do list from a daunting pile into a series of achievable challenges. As Sarah dives into her week, she quickly discovers the power of this visual organization. Each morning, she opens her planner and sees exactly what she needs to accomplish that day. It serves as a roadmap, guiding her through the chaos of daily life. The clarity she gains from this structure ignites her motivation. She finds herself looking forward to her dedicated work time, rather than dreading it. What surprises her the most is the realization that even just 15 minutes of focused effort can yield significant progress. At first, she thinks it might be too little time to accomplish anything meaningful. But she decides to test this theory. One afternoon, she carves out a quick 15 minutes to jot down ideas for her business name. To her astonishment, in that short span, she generates a list of 10 potential names. Each one sparks creativity and excitement, fueling her passion further. Emboldened by this success, Sarah begins to embrace the idea of short, focused work sessions. She finds herself sneaking in those precious 15 minutes throughout her day, during lunch breaks, before dinner, or even while waiting for her coffee to brew. Each small effort accumulates, and before she knows it, her notebook fills with ideas, outlines, and plans. This newfound habit of breaking tasks into smaller chunks not only makes her feel more accomplished, but also transforms her perception of progress. The true key to her success, she realizes, is consistency. By committing to those brief, dedicated sessions, she establishes a rhythm that becomes part of her daily routine. Just as brushing her teeth or making her bed becomes second nature, so does setting aside time for her business. Over time, those small actions compound into something much more significant. Each week, she looks back and sees how far she's come. Before long, Sarah finds herself laying a solid foundation for her dreams. With her business plan beginning to take shape and ideas flowing freely, she gains confidence. The planner, once a simple tool, has become her partner in productivity, a constant reminder of her commitment to her goals. The transformation is palpable. Friends begin to notice her newfound energy and focus. "What's your secret?" they ask, amazed at her progress. Sarah shares her experience, emphasizing how breaking tasks into bite-sized pieces and sticking to a consistent schedule has been a game changer. She encourages them to find their own systems that work for them. As she reflects on her journey, Sarah realizes that this practical approach has not only helped her in her professional aspirations, but has also seeped into other areas of her life. She feels more organized in her personal tasks, from grocery shopping to planning vacations. Ultimately, Sarah's story is a testament to the power of practical tools in achieving one's dreams. By adopting a planner and committing to consistency, she transforms her ambitions from abstract ideas into concrete realities. With each passing day, she builds not just a business, but a future she can truly call her own. However, Sarah's journey is not a smooth, unbroken path toward success. Like many aspiring entrepreneurs, she encounters her fair share of challenges that threaten to derail her progress. There are days when she feels an overwhelming wave of self-doubt crashing over her. The moments when she questions her abilities can feel paralyzing. What if I'm not cut out for this? What if I fail? These thoughts swirl in her mind, sowing seeds of uncertainty and fear. One particular Tuesday stands out in her memory. She wakes up with a sense of dread. The weight of her ambitions feels heavier than usual, and fatigue clings to her like a thick fog. As she sips her coffee, the familiar tasks ahead start to loom larger, and her mind races with the myriad of things she needs to accomplish. Instead of feeling motivated, she feels like she's standing at the base of a mountain, staring up at a summit that seems impossibly high. On days like this, the allure of procrastination beckons. It would be so easy to push everything off, to scroll through social media or binge-watch her favorite show, avoiding the daunting tasks that lie ahead. But in that moment of struggle, Sarah remembers her mantra. Do it today. This simple phrase has become her anchor, a lifeline she clings to when self-doubt threatens to pull her under. With a deep breath, she takes a moment to ground herself. She recalls the essence of that mantra. It's not about perfection. It's about taking that next step, no matter how small. She pulls out her planner and scans the tasks for the day. Instead of focusing on the monumental goal of launching her business, she zeroes in on a single, achievable action, researching competitors in her market. Just that one task feels manageable. She sets a timer for 15 minutes and commits to diving into her research. With her laptop open and a cup of herbal tea beside her, she allows herself to immerse in the work. The act of engaging with her project begins to shift her mindset. Each piece of information she uncovers rekindles a spark of excitement. By the end of the timer, she has gathered valuable insights, and suddenly, the fog of self-doubt starts to lift. This isn't the first time Sarah has faced challenges, nor will it be the last. As she navigates her journey, she learns to embrace setbacks as integral parts of the process. There are other days when fatigue sets in, leaving her feeling uninspired and drained. Perhaps she's had a long day at work, or maybe life throws unexpected curveballs, an illness, family obligations, or even just a particularly stressful week. During these times, the allure of giving up tempts her again. But Sarah continues to remind herself that every setback is a setup for a comeback. She takes solace in knowing that it's okay to have days when she doesn't feel like she's moving forward. Instead of succumbing to despair, she learns to adjust her expectations. Perhaps that means simply jotting down a few ideas for future tasks or reading an inspiring book about entrepreneurship. This flexibility in her approach becomes another powerful lesson. Progress doesn't always mean pushing forward at breakneck speed. Sometimes it means allowing herself to pause, reflect, and recharge. On days when she feels particularly low, she seeks out inspiration. Whether it's listening to motivational podcasts, watching TED Talks, or connecting with her accountability partner, Jessica, for a heart-to-heart conversation. As she leans into her support system, Sarah discovers that sharing her struggles with others not only lightens her load, but also reinforces her commitment to her dreams. Jessica's unwavering belief in her potential helps remind Sarah that setbacks are merely temporary. Together, they share their challenges and brainstorm solutions, fostering a sense of resilience that propels them both forward. With each challenge, Sarah becomes more adept at navigating her emotional landscape. She learns to celebrate her small victories and recognize that even the most successful entrepreneurs face hurdles. Progress isn't linear. It's a winding road filled with ups and downs. Through this lens, she cultivates patience and kindness toward herself, understanding that every small step forward is still progress. Ultimately, Sarah's journey evolves into a transformative experience that reshapes her understanding of success. As she navigates the winding path of entrepreneurship, she learns a profound truth that resonates deeply within her. Perfection is not the goal. Progress is. This realization is not merely a catchy phrase. It becomes a cornerstone of her new mindset, guiding her through moments of uncertainty and self-doubt. In the early days of her journey, Sarah was often paralyzed by the desire to create something flawless. She envisioned her business as a perfectly polished entity, complete with a flawless brand identity, a comprehensive business plan, and a smooth launch. Each time she sat down to work, the weight of that ideal pressed heavily on her shoulders, causing her to freeze in place. The fear of producing anything less than perfect held her back, creating a mental barrier that was difficult to breach. However, as she faced setbacks and experienced the ebb and flow of motivation, she began to recognize that striving for perfection was not only unrealistic, but also counterproductive. Each time she pushed herself to reach an unattainable standard, she found herself feeling defeated, drained, and discouraged. But through her mantra, "Do it today," she discovered a more liberating perspective. This mantra becomes her guiding star, illuminating her path with a gentle, persistent glow. It reminds her that every action she takes, no matter how small, contributes to her larger vision. She starts to view her tasks through a different lens, understanding that even a few minutes spent brainstorming or jotting down ideas is a step in the right direction. Whether it's drafting a few lines of her business plan, sketching out logo ideas, or even researching competitors, each small effort accumulates, building momentum and creating a sense of accomplishment. As Sarah embraces this philosophy, she finds beauty in the gradual growth that comes from consistent effort. The more she engages with her work, the more she begins to appreciate the process, rather than fixating solely on the end result. She discovers that progress is often hidden in the mundane. Those moments spent tweaking a business strategy or reflecting on her goals are just as vital as the milestones she initially envisioned. One afternoon, while reviewing her planner, she notices how her incremental efforts have transformed into something tangible. What once felt like a scattered collection of ideas is now evolving into a coherent business plan. She marvels at the small victories she's accumulated along the way, the feedback she received from a friend about her marketing ideas, the positive response to a social media post, or even the sense of pride she felt when completing a challenging research task. Each of these moments reinforces the idea that progress isn't measured by perfection, but by the continuous journey of growth. Sarah also learns to celebrate these small wins. She starts to incorporate a ritual of reflection into her weekly check-ins with Jessica. Instead of solely focusing on what still needs to be done, they take time to acknowledge how far they've come. They share stories of their progress, big and small, celebrating each other's achievements with enthusiasm. This practice becomes an essential part of their support system, creating a culture of encouragement that reinforces the notion that every step counts. As her mindset shifts, Sarah becomes more resilient in the face of challenges. When obstacles arise, instead of succumbing to self-doubt, she asks herself, "What can I do today?" This question serves as a gentle nudge, prompting her to take action rather than retreat into perfectionism. It becomes her way of transforming fear into fuel, encouraging her to tackle tasks that once felt overwhelming. In the broader scope of her journey, Sarah finds that this newfound perspective doesn't just apply to her business. It seeps into other areas of her life as well. She begins to embrace imperfections in her personal endeavors too. Whether it's cooking a new recipe, planning a social event, or even engaging in hobbies, she allows herself the grace to be imperfect. This acceptance fosters a sense of joy and freedom, allowing her to explore without the constant pressure of perfection looming overhead. As Sarah reflects on her evolution, she realizes that the mantra, "Do it today," has become a part of her identity. It encapsulates her journey, reminding her that life is not about achieving flawless results, but about experiencing growth through action. The beauty lies in the small steps, the lessons learned, and the resilience built along the way. In the end, Sarah emerges not just as an aspiring entrepreneur, but as a person transformed by her experiences. She understands that the path to her dreams is paved with progress, and that each day holds the potential for new discoveries and growth. With her mantra guiding her, she steps confidently into the future, ready to embrace whatever comes next, knowing that as long as she takes action today, she is moving closer to her goals. As the months roll by, Sarah finds herself in a moment of quiet reflection, a rare pause amidst the hustle of her entrepreneurial journey. She sits in her favorite corner of the cafe, a warm cup of herbal tea cradled in her hands, the steam curling up into the cool air. The past few months have been a whirlwind of activity, self-discovery, and yes, challenges. It's in this reflective space that she truly begins to understand how far she has come and the profound transformation she has undergone. What began as a simple mantra, "Do it today," has evolved into a guiding philosophy that permeates every aspect of her life. Initially, it was just a phrase to combat procrastination and self-doubt, but now it embodies a deeper understanding of progress and resilience. She realizes that each time she repeated it, she wasn't just motivating herself to take action. She was cultivating a mindset that allowed her to navigate the complexities of her aspirations with confidence. Sarah recalls the early days of her journey, where uncertainty loomed large. Each task felt monumental, and the fear of failure often loomed over her like a storm cloud. But as she embraced her mantra, she began to reframe her perspective on challenges. Instead of viewing them as insurmountable roadblocks, she learned to see them as stepping stones, each offering unique lessons that enriched her experience. For example, she remembers a particularly tough week when she faced a significant setback. A potential partnership that she had been cultivating fell through at the last minute. The disappointment hit hard, and for a moment, she felt like giving up. But as she took a step back and reflected, she realized that this setback wasn't the end. It was an opportunity to learn. She began analyzing what went wrong, understanding the dynamics of the negotiation, and identifying areas for improvement. This analysis didn't just provide clarity about that specific situation, it empowered her with insights she could apply in future endeavors. Each challenge Sarah faced became a lesson in resilience. She discovered that when things didn't go according to plan, it was essential to adapt and pivot rather than dwell in defeat. For instance, after experiencing difficulties with a marketing strategy that didn't yield the expected results, she shifted her approach. Rather than seeing this as failure, she treated it as an experiment, one that offered her valuable data. With her newfound mindset, she became more curious, more willing to test and learn, which opened up avenues she had previously overlooked. Through this lens, Sarah began to develop a deeper sense of empowerment. She realized that her dreams were not just destinations to reach, but evolving journeys filled with growth opportunities. Each step she took, no matter how small, contributed to her overall progress. She learned to celebrate not only her successes, but also her willingness to try, to fail, and to rise again. As she internalized this philosophy, she noticed her confidence blossoming. The fear that once held her back began to dissipate, replaced by a steadfast belief in her ability to navigate whatever challenges came her way. She became more adaptable, adjusting her strategies and expectations as needed. Whether it was finding new ways to connect with her audience or exploring alternative revenue streams, she embraced change with an open mind. Sarah also became more proactive in seeking support. Instead of isolating herself during tough times, she reached out to her growing network of fellow entrepreneurs. They shared their stories of struggle and triumph, reinforcing the idea that everyone faces challenges. This community became an invaluable resource, providing insights, encouragement, and a sense of belonging. It was within this supportive environment that she flourished, surrounded by individuals who understood the roller coaster of building a dream. As the seasons changed and her journey progressed, Sarah began to view every day as an opportunity, a chance to take action, to learn, and to grow. The mantra that once felt like a simple reminder transformed into a powerful affirmation of her commitment to her dreams. It was no longer just about doing tasks. It was about embracing the process, with all its ups and downs. Looking back, Sarah marvels at how this shift in perspective has altered her relationship with her aspirations. Instead of feeling burdened by the weight of perfectionism, she finds joy in the journey itself. The little moments, like brainstorming new ideas, connecting with her audience, or simply taking time to reflect, become the highlights of her day. She embraces the notion that success is not a straight line. It's a beautiful, winding path filled with lessons, growth, and discovery. Ultimately, Sarah emerges from this reflective phase not just as a budding entrepreneur, but as a person who has learned to embrace life's complexities. The challenges she once feared have become invaluable teachers, shaping her character and fortifying her resolve. With her mantra echoing in her heart, she feels more resilient, adaptable, and empowered than ever. ready to tackle whatever comes next on her journey one day at a time. So, what can we take away from Sarah's journey? The next time you feel that familiar urge to procrastinate, pause and ask yourself, what can I do today? Whether it's sending that email, making that call, or simply brainstorming ideas, take that first step. You might be surprised at how a small action can shift your mindset and propel you forward. In conclusion, the road to achieving your dreams starts with today. Don't let fear hold you back. Embrace the idea of taking action now. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.